everyone. So in a previous tutorial, we saw how to set up and configure an OPCUA client on a soft PLC running here on our local machine. In today's tutorial, we want to see how we can do the same. So set up an OPCUA client on a Raspberry Pi running Codesys Control Runtime for Raspberry Pi. So that is the goal of today's tutorial. So I'm using a Raspberry Pi 3B, as you can see from here. And I'll go ahead and create a new project. So I'll come here to create a new project. I'll name my project Raspberry Pi OPCUA client. And this is the standard project, and then I'll select the location where I want to save this. So I'll save it under Raspberry Pi OPCUA client, and then I'll click OK. And then on the next page, it's going to request us to select our device or runtime. So I'll go ahead and select that. So I'm using Codesys Control for Raspberry Pi MCSL 32-bit version there. Select that. We're going to use the structured text here, and then I click OK. And then I'll wait for a while for this project to be created, and then we should be able to continue. Okay, project has been created. We have a few errors here. I think this is resulting from the missing libraries that we have. Let's go ahead and download those missing libraries and solve that, and then we should be able to continue after that. Okay, all the missing libraries have been downloaded and the errors have now been resolved, so everything is pretty fine now. Before we continue, let's look at our OPCUA server that we are working with here. So remember last time we showed or demonstrated how we can create a simulation server using this process software, and we created this process server here. And we created for nodes. Basically, we have this Airflow data node where we have random data generated from between 5 and 7. We have this dust level as well node where we have data generated between 0 and 2, and then we have this humidity node, and then that is between 50 and 80, and then we have this temperature node as well, which is between 25 and 30. So this is random data being generated, and we give a range there, and then the types and everything we configure it here. We demonstrated last time how we do this. So this is going to be our server, and we should be able to read all the 4 variables or nodes that are hosted on this OPCUA server. So that is all about this OPCUA server that we're using in this demonstration. And then let's continue now on the client side. So for this runtime for Raspberry Pi, first we need to verify that the runtime has started or is running already on the Raspberry Pi. So when you're using a test or temporarily Codesys license, the runtime runs for 2 hours and then stops. And then you have to kind of start it again if you want to continue working. So that is how that one is set up there. So if you're using a temporary license, this is a free license that comes with the runtime, then you have to restart your runtime every 2 hours. So I will go to tools here and then launch this deploy Control tool here. And then here is where I check if my runtime is running. I can configure it, I can set it, I can stop it, I can do all sort of things here. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to enter the IP address of my Raspberry Pi there. So it's 192.168.1.37 there. And then port is 22 here. And then I want to enter the SSH username, which is Pi for my case, and then enter the SSH password. And then I should connect to the runtime there, or to the Raspberry Pi. Wait for a while. And if your connection is successful, then you'll see that this status changed from disconnected to connected here, as you can see. And then, so after that, now we can go ahead and check. So I will expand here a little bit. So you can see under this menu list here, you should now go to deploy, rather not to deploy, operation here. And the operation will show you all the services that are running on your Raspberry Pi. So as you can see from this list, we have this Codesys Edge gateway for Linux. And then that manages the connection to the runtime. And then you have this Codesys Control for Raspberry Pi SL. This is the runtime itself. So as you can see, our Edge gateway is running, but the runtime is not there. It's in stopped state there. So what we want to do is we want to start it. So I'll select it here, and then I will go to Start Selected here, and then wait for a while, and it should turn to running, as you can see. So now the Edge gateway is running, and then the runtime as well is running. So that is a good sign. So close that. And now we can go ahead and first of all, make sure that we can connect to the runtime and upload code and everything. So if I come here I double click on the device, come to Scan Network, should be able to see my Raspberry Pi under the devices here. So if I click on that, click OK, should be able to connect to it. So it will ask me for the username. This is device management username and password. There. Click OK. And now I have connection to the Raspberry Pi. So that's a good thing. Okay. Now we can start setting up and configuring our OPCUA client. So the first thing we need to do is to come to application here, right click, and then add new object. We want to add a data source manager. We click add there. And then under the data source manager, we add a data source. So again, right click, go to add object, data source. Under types, select OPCUA server, and then click OK. Give it a name, whatever name you want, and just click OK. And then a pop-up will appear here where you now configure your server properties, endpoint, security, and everything. So for us, we need to get our server endpoint. So if I come back here to my process software, if I go to status, we are using this UATCP. So this is the endpoint. Now, keep in mind, if your server or if your software is running on a different machine, as is the case for me here, because my process server is running on my local computer here, and the client is on the Raspberry Pi. So these two are on two different machines. That means if you want to reach this server here, then you have to modify this endpoint a little bit. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll copy this endpoint as is, copy that, come paste it in here. But now I want to use my local computer IP address instead of this part here. So you remove this part. I'll come here, I'll run ipconfig from the command line, and I should be able to see my local IP address there, rather my local computer IP address. So these two are on the same network. The local computer here, where the software is running, and the Raspberry Pi, they're on the same network. So that means that the Raspberry Pi should be able to reach this IP address. So I just copy that IP address, and then I replace it. Here. So just remove this. Then I put 192.168.1.38. That's all you need to change. Use the local computer IP address instead of whatever name we had there. This is 192, sorry. Like that. And then after you're done, the next thing to do is just click next. And that will browse the server for all the different nodes, and then they should be populated here. So as you can see, our data is under this. This is the root folder here, data, and then under that we have all these 4 nodes there. So this is our root folder there, and then we can see all the four nodes there as we configured them. So I want to select all these 4 nodes. If I want to select just 2, I'll select only 2 or 3. But if I want to select all, then I just click and select all like that. So select all, and then have this one, insert the items, structured, and then click finish here. When you click finish, now the data source will be populated with some information here. So as you can see, we have different tabs. We have this variables tab, where we can see all the variables that we have imported, or variables that represent our nodes on the server. We have the type mappings there. Have the communication parameters here. You can come back and configure, reconfigure if you made a mistake or anything like that. So you can configure the update rate here, how frequent you fetch data from the server. So all that is under this data source object. You can see from here. We have the access rights for all the variables or nodes. At the moment, they're all read-only. Yeah, but basically, that's how we have it. You can configure this. You can change this on the server side if you want them to be read-write. But at the moment, they are read-only. And update arrays, they're all selected. And then we have the types for each, and then the remote variable data here. So these are the node names that correspond to this here. Now you'll see something else that when we finished that wizard there where we selected which nodes we want to read, a new folder was created here. And in that folder, there is a structure, new structure. So this structure represents this data object, which is this root folder where we have the different nodes there. And then under that, each of the nodes is defined inside that object. And then again, we have another global variable list here. And there, a new variable has been declared, and it's self-type data. Self-type has the same, it has the same type as this structure here. And then we have the this data source constants, which is basically empty. So this means that if we want to access this OPCUA server node information, we basically just have to call or to reference this data variable that is created here in the data source global list here. So this gives us access to our nodes on the server. And like we demonstrated last time, we'll come here in my PRG programming unit there, and then I want to create, for example, 4 variables to represent each of the nodes on the server. So we have a temp type rear. We have humidity. So humid is of type rear as well. Then we have airflow, same type. And then I have dust level. This is the same type as well. And then now if I want to read data and store that data in these variables, then I'll just come here and, for example, for temp, like I said, we reference this object that is created in this global variable list. So I will go ahead and say data source dot data dot temperature, like that. And then I'll do the same for all the rest. So humidity, again, data source dot data dot humidity. Same thing for airflow is data source dot data dot airflow. And then lastly but not least is the dust level, which is again data source dot data dot dust level there. Okay. We can also go ahead and create a simple visualization here. So I'll go ahead and add a new object, a visualization there. Then add visualization. I'll create some visual elements here just to visualize our data that we are reading from the server there. So, for example, add a rectangle here, then I'll add a label as well. Okay. So we have temperature. Then here we shall put this to text %s, and then we shall attach a text variable there. Come here, browse, and select this temp variable there. Then I'll do the same for the rest as well. So add one for humidity here, one for airflow, and then one for the dust level. So I'll change this to humidity. Change this to airflow, and then this to dust level. Then I will also attach the corresponding text variables. So this is dot humidity. Sorry. Okay, this is airflow. And then this is dust level. Okay, that's a very simple visual just to visualize our data there. So we're gonna go ahead and try to upload this program and then see what we get. So first I'll generate code here, make sure I have no errors. Okay, no errors, that's a good sign. Again, just verify that I have connection to my Raspberry Pi. So I'll also make sure that I have a connection to my Raspberry Pi. So I'll come to scan network here. Okay, again, so username, password, and click OK. Okay, all looks good. Now I can go ahead and log in. So click on login. Yes. Okay, now program has been uploaded there, and then I can put it to run. And now we should be able to see our information coming in. So as you can see, when I click on this global variable list here, we can see all our variables that are being updated there. And also in my program unit here, when I go there, you can see that the information is being fetched successfully and then being assigned to these variables. And then if we go to our visual as well, there, now we have our data there in the visual page. So you can see it's being updated periodically. And that should correspond to what we have in here, basically. And so it's all looking good, and that's a successful implementation, basically. And you can do whatever you want with this data and do further processing and logics and everything. So that's it for this tutorial, basically how we can set up and configure OPCUA client on a Raspberry Pi running Codesys Control for Raspberry Pi there. Thank you and have a nice day.